Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between. It is me, your benevolent ruler, the Goose King. Today, we are continuing my hardcore Minecraft survival series. My first order of business was a simple one. Check my farm. A single, spectacular piece of wheat had grown. With some seeds and spare wheat from my previous videos, I went to breed my animals. With the animals having been fed, I made a butt-clenching jump into the water down below. Having made my way down, I started beating up a tree that called me a stinky head. I broke its nose so that it wouldn't have to smell me again. Aren't I kind? With the wood gathered, I proceeded to fail at opening the crafting table 3 times, only to throw my wood when I finally opened it. Finally, I managed to turn it into planks. I then ran outside to go play with my sheep. They did not appreciate my roughhousing. Once I forcefully received 3 wool, I crafted a second bed. Finally, it was time to set off on the adventure I had hung up on in the previous video. On my adventure, I found something truly stunning. Sand. I also found a buried desert temple, but I was too distracted by a rabbit to notice. I also came across a ravine full of water, but still, I chose to carry on. I don't go on long, somewhat perilous strolls that often after all. After a while of strolling, it got dark, so I made the strategic decision to take a power nap in the middle of nowhere. On my second day of traveling, I found 2 bodies of water that were different colors. The second one was colorful beneath the surface, so I ran away. Wouldn't want to be associated with rainbows when I'm straight after all. In the desert, I came across a large, deep hole that reminded me of your mother. Jokes aside, there was no way I was going down there, so I continued onwards. After almost a full day of running, I found another ruined nether portal. The loot was uninspiring, but I grabbed it nonetheless. After a long, mostly fruitless adventure, I decided it was time to go home and rest. The next day, I quickly gathered wheat and planted seeds before moving on to my next task, making the strip mine more accessible. I first started by making the mine 3 blocks tall before working on adding stairs. However, you can only go so far until your progress is halted. Quickly, I returned home to craft more stairs before returning to the mine to finish my work. It wasn't much longer before I finished the job I had set out to complete. What I did next might surprise you. Yeah, I just started mining. I mined right up until my pick broke and the sun had set. It was time to take a rest while talking in my sleep. As soon as I awoke, I crafted a new pick and set back to work in the mine. While mining, I discovered you can't get redstone with a stone pick. Bummer. After a long while of mining, my pick eventually broke. So I crafted another one. Once more, I was back in the dark. After yet another long while of mining, my pick broke again. After all the hard work mining, I decided to relieve some stress by abusing my chickens, as one does. I then made a pit stop by my farm to grab the grown wheat and plant seeds. I then crafted another pickaxe and started mining in the basement, because of course. The plan was simple. I wanted more rooms that looked kind of cool, so with that in mind, I set to work. It didn't take long for me to mine until I reached the underside of the stone staircase, but there was more mining to be done yet. Next, I quickly made the hallway 2 blocks wide, but my pick died. After crafting a new pick and finishing the hallway, I counted how long the hallway was. After that, I mined out door frames for the 4 rooms. I then decided a 2x2 door frame would be best, so I did that. I then started mining out how wide I wanted the rooms to be. After that, I started to try and make the undersides of the stair nice, but my pick broke. After crafting 2 new pickaxes, I watched as sand smelted into glass. With my fresh smelted glass, I proceeded to place a window beneath the stairs. Now it was time for the long, hard, girthy work, mining out all 4 rooms. So much time was spent mining that I would rather make a time lapse of it than cut it all out, so more speedrun music. Finally, the first room was complete, but there were still 3 rooms to go, so go I did. As I mined, the animals were being extremely annoying, so I told them off. After mining for a while, I got restless, so I decided to kill some zombies for entertainment. After clearing the area of monsters, a light rain started, but I wasn't quite ready to return to mining, so I grabbed some wheat and fed my animals. After feeding them, however, I was met with a dreadful surprise. An enderman. This would be a dangerous fight, but the possibility of an ender pearl spurred me forward. Quickly, I equipped my untouched shield before looking it in the eye. The fight was going fine, but suddenly I was down to 2 hearts. My mind was racing, searching for a plan. What would I do? How would I escape? But finally, a plan came to mind. Slowly moving towards the pool I had made, I shielded myself from the foe's deadly attacks. After what felt like an eternity, I made it. From the water, I safely slayed the enderman. I then went back to mining. While mining, I got distracted by the sound of a skeleton, so I went to investigate. To my great surprise, it was a jockey. I was shielded by my bamboo as it fired an arrow at me. Never had I been so grateful for my past actions. To my great horror, the jockey began climbing the bamboo, but the spider then met an untimely death to fall damage. I then quickly dispatched the skeleton. Nice. Soon after that, I finished the second room, only 2 to go. Taking a quick break, I decided to do some hands-on fishing. The fish masses stood no chance against my genocide. That should teach them not to swim in my waters. It took a long time, but with these final at least 7 pieces of glass, the room was complete. Finally, there was only 1 room left. Having worked very hard, I took a well-deserved nap. Wasting no time at all, I began working on the final room at the crack of dawn. After a very long while of mining, I finally finished making the frame for the final room. All that was left was glass for the windows. After a little waiting, the glass was finished, so I began filling in the windows. Finally, the last room was finished. Never have I been so happy for the sweet release of debt. I mean sleep. Having spent most of my time working, my farm grew plenty of wheat for me to harvest. I was more than happy to oblige. Finally, my sheep population was beginning to grow in earnest along with the cows. After feeding the animals, I played with my pet Pee-Pee. He seemed very happy as he did a little jig. I then decided to attack an innocent population of fish, as I do enjoy the occasional war crime. I sure do enjoy eating innocent corpses as well. While fishing to relax, I discovered that I have survived over 25 days, which is at least 7. Once the day had passed, I quickly retreated to my bed for a nice rest. The next day, I spent my time fishing. Why? I don't know, just felt like it. Even caught a few things too. But eventually, as always, the time was nigh for this video to come to an end. So I set myself on the rooftop and watched the sun set.